Yeah, I'm just going to kind of show you how this is looking. Okay. I'm about to put the second coat on. Okay. Again, shake that paint really good. Give it a couple of sprays. And then just come in and hit that. And you'll see this time I'm putting down a nice wet coat. See the difference there? And now I'm just going to let that sink in and settle down. And then we're going to have a really nice panel when we're done. All right, I'm going to pause that. I'm going to let this dry. And then we're going to come to the laser and we're going to do the engraving. Just record this so you can see just how that lays down. And I try to also get these edges so the light doesn't bleed through. But that's how simple that first step is, guys. If you prep it, you use the promoter, that adhesion promoter. You dry that cloth, you wet sand it, you're going to get a really good finish. All right, we'll let it dry and then we'll come back to do part 2 of this. Guys, we're going to move on to the engraving stage, and what I like to do is, now, this is where I'm going to leave it up to your discretion. If you want to use wood or something that's less flammable or flammable, I use this thicker cardboard and I lay it down inside my machine. I throw my magnets on it, right? And what I'm going to do is, this is set up so I can burn on a really light, I'm actually going to redo the entire panel, but I'm using this cardboard instead. That way it allows me to take the panel and set it down on top of it because I know where all the lines are. Okay, and you'll see that in a minute when I go and cut this. Now when I do this, I've got to take my voltage and I've got to bring it way down because you're using a whole different material. And all we're going to do is just think of us like engraving the panel onto this cardboard so that we can use that as a guide to put our panel down on top of it. Okay, and that way everything lines up good when we lay the letters down, because we can't just set it, position it and line it up like you would think. So this is the best way that I have found to get that lettering to lay down perfectly on the panel. And I'll go ahead and show that to you now, and we'll engrave this. Let me get my machine set up. For some reason my video got cut out, the one I was recording. So what you do is on this, just to reiterate, this is a piece of cardboard, and I just etched in the actual panel. And yes guys, it's sunny outside. I'll let this dry overnight. But I'm just going to lay down this and just line it up just perfect there. So it's right on the money. Okay. And I'm going to just put a little piece of tape on that, and then we're going to start the engraving process, and I'll walk you through that. So notice I stuck a little tape right here just to hold it down, and that helps to keep it secure. Now, on my settings, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this back up and just get my voltage going here. Give me a moment. Takes a while on this little knob. There you go. Okay, and we're just going to keep going up. And I usually put it at about 3.5 volts, maybe 4, somewhere around there. Okay, and then I'll show you a test fire. Let me go ahead and test fire. Okay, that's a little too much. Let me bring that down. And I just dial this in to where it's hitting right about the 20 mark for the engraving. And what I'm doing is I'm test firing the laser, and then I'm reducing the voltage until I'm right about there. Let me just do it one more time. I'm going to turn that up just a little bit. Just a little bit more. A little bit more. turn it down a little bit. Okay, so now I've got my voltage set for the engraving. And I'm going to close up the lid here, and I've got that positioned. Now I'm going to initialize the laser because I unplugged it. And now I'm going to remove it to the 30. You'll notice here it's 30 minus 50. And I'm going to go ahead and hit move, and you're going to see that bounce over there. You're also going to see that line up there. Kind of hard to see, but right there. Now I'm going to close this down. And I like to increase this a little bit faster. And this is where the trick comes to engraving if you don't get those gray smoky marks. If you speed it up with a hotter laser, like you're turning up the voltage on the laser, and you're speeding this up, it moves quicker across the board. And I tend to like that. Oops, let me go to 140. But with my voltage is right around 20. Let me just make sure my settings, advanced, everything's 1. Okay, we're going to go ahead and give this a shot. And if you screw this up, you're starting all over again. That's what's fun about this. And you can test this. It's always good to test it one time, even on that cardboard paper. But I'm just going to go ahead and roll the dice. I'm going to send it out to the laser. So now you'll be able to see it starting to engrave. And we're just going to let that run. And I'll pause now. We'll come back and see the finished product. Okay, so the panel, just to show you, this is the finished panel. We pull it up. I'm just going to hold it up to the light so you can see it just turned out really nice. You can see. So with that, we've now got the panel. I'm just going to lay it down into the actual sim. You can see where it's going to have its home when it's all said and done. So it's got a couple of little blemishes, but that's something that just happens, and you can decide if you want to redo it or not. I might leave this one, or I might redo it. And I might thin out the lettering just a little bit or not, but I don't know. It looks pretty good, so I'm going to go with that. Thanks.